everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to some more live coding. Today's topic is going to be Vim, or VI. Vim, mostly. I think we're going to be using Vim features. I'm basically just going to sit down and, for one, let's see. So let's write up an agenda so you guys can understand what the goal is for tonight. Getting better with Vim. So basically review what I already know. So I'll kind of share my knowledge. Kind of share and review what I know. And then, let's see, explore some new commands so we can maybe learn some new things. Explore vimrc settings so we can customize. And then Vim script? I think there's something called Vim script. Yeah, so maybe we'll check out Vim script. So basically, the reason I'm doing this and the whole goal is to basically do some tool sharpening. And Vim is one of those things that everybody should know really well, but a lot of people, including myself, you'll learn enough and then you won't really learn anything new for a while until you basically sit down. So check this out. In 2013 was about the time that I started really taking it more, like, the first time I really sat down and tried to learn it more than just the basics, and I started writing down some cheat sheets and some of the common commands that I used. But since then, I haven't really taken the time to actually sit down and focus on learning and getting better with Vim. So my skills have pretty much stagnated with that. You know, I learned a couple new commands here or there, but it's time to step it up a notch, because it may be years before I sit down again and actually spend time to focus on this. So let's level up and encourage you guys to take some time to sit down and get better with your tools. So to start off, I guess I'll kind of start off with what I know, just in case some of you don't know Vim at all, and I'm going to go through it kind of quickly. So in Vim, you've got the two modes. You've got the command mode, where you type things down in the bottom, and you've got the active mode. So in the insert mode, you hit escape to go out, or you can press, actually, I think it's control left bracket. This left bracket here. So you basically do control left bracket. That's the equivalent of escape, if for some reason you don't have an escape on the keyboard. So you can press I to go into insert, but you can also press A, and A will put you in insert mode after the current character. So it's like A, but it's like I, but it moves you forward a character. Now Shift A will turn you into insert mode at the end of the line, which is pretty nice if you're like right here and you want to jump to the end of the line. Then you can also press O, and that will put you in insert mode and create a new line below it. So if I press O, it's like pressing Shift A, but if I press O, then it actually creates a new line. So if I go here and I press O from command mode, it creates a new line. So there's all these different ways to get into insert mode, and those are the ones that I use that I know of the most common. So ways to enter insert mode from Vim. So those are the ways I know, and maybe I'll jot that down. So, and I also know to navigate to the top and the bottom of the file, it's GG to go to the top, and it's Shift G to go to the bottom. So you can press GG and then press D to delete, and then tell it where you want to delete to. You press Shift G. Okay, so GG to go to the front, D to delete, Shift G to go to the end. That's how you clear out a whole file. Ways to go to insert mode. So there's A, well there's I, A, capital A, O. Those are the ones that I know. So, are there any other ones? Let's see. No, that didn't really have it. Because I'm thinking, you know, I find those all really useful, and I do use all of them in different situations. So I'm wondering if there's a couple other ways to go into insert mode that I don't know about. Vim editor commands. Okay, A, capital A, I, Shift I. That's one I don't know. Shift I. Let me make this bigger. Shift I is insert text at the beginning of the cursor line. Okay, so it's like A, but it's Shift. Okay, so if I do Shift I, it's going to go to the beginning. Oh, from that mode? Okay. So, Shift I is kind of the opposite of the Shift A. Shift I goes to the beginning, Shift A goes to the end, and goes into the insert mode. Okay. And so O opens up a new line after. Shift O opens a line in front. Okay. So that's pretty intuitive. The capital ones, so you've got I, A, and O, and then you've also got I, A, and O, and those are essentially the opposites. So let's make a few lines. So if we did Shift I, okay, Shift A, O opens one behind it, and if we do Shift O, it's going to open a line in front of it. Okay, cool. So I did learn a couple new ones there. And that's pretty intuitive. It's just the capital version goes to the opposite side. And if you're having trouble remembering, I is for insert, A is for after, and O is for open. Open a new line. After you go to the end, and insert is I. The following commands are used only in the command mode. Okay, yeah, so you gotta know the move left and right and move up and down. So JK is up and down, H and L are left and right. And then, oh yeah, so there's ways to jump up and down. Okay, so when you quit, you have to press colon and Q to quit. But if you change the buffer, you have to either right quit to save, or you have to quit with an exclamation to explicitly say, I want to quit and lose the buffer. So I don't want to save, so I'm going to say Q bang to quit without saving. So let's open, why don't we try and open a file that has a bit of code in it. Why don't we try this readme? That's okay, that's good enough. So, to go up and down a file, I already mentioned you can press Shift-G to go to the bottom, lowercase two G's to go to the top. Control-D will move you down, I believe it's half a page at a time, and Control-U will move you up half a page at a time. So, Control-D, moving around, you've got Control-D will move you down, and Control-U will move you up. But there's also, let me add a few lines here. So you can do Control-D to go down about half a page, Control-U to go up, and then there's Control-F, which I think moves you down a whole page. And I forget the other one to move up half a page. And then there's Control-F, which is down full page. Hey, Dark Coder. Dark Coder says I started streaming early. Not really. This is about the normal time. Some of the other nights I stream a little later, but this is the time I actually aim for. But welcome, Dark Coder, and thank you. Thank you very much for your donation. That's awesome. That's the third time you donated, and you're also the only donator, so you're like 3,000% ahead of everybody else. So let's see. Let's go back here. How about? Yeah. Okay. So here's where they're saying these are the commands to move around with the control character. So you've got Control D down half a screen, Control U up half a screen. These are the ones I use most often. Control D and Control U down and up. That's how you remember it. Down and up. And it says capital D here, but it's a lowercase d. So yeah, that's interesting. What if I do Control Shift D? It does the same. It behaves the same way. Okay, so what was it? There's Control D and U is down and up, and then there's F. Oh, B. B is the other one. So forward and backward. Control B. Back full page. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so this one actually does have two. There's a Control F, which is one page forward, and then there's Control with a capital F, which is a screen full forward. So hold on a second. Let's try something. So if we go here and we do Control Shift F, it it brings up the fine. So never mind. We'll forget that one. And then, okay, so yeah, if you want to move to the beginning or the end of the line, you use the regex expression, basically. So you hit the caret to go to the beginning of the line, and the dollar sign to go to the end. Caret and dollar. And you can also do N, or I guess it's... you can press colon, and then the line number you want to go to. So if I want to go to line 44, I just press that. I guess there is no 44, so it goes to there. And if you want to see what line number you're on, it's down here at the bottom. That's your X and your Y coordinates, basically. So we do GG to go to the top. We can say colon line 14. There we go. I bet we can do the X and the Y. So if we say go to 13.3, no, it doesn't. It just brings you there to the first one. Okay. So that's how you move around. Oh, and W and B moves you forward and backward a word. So there's deleting. And to delete, you press D. And then you can see down here, it highlights the D and it says, like, I'm ready to delete, but I'm waiting for another character. So you tell it, I want to delete up, I want to delete down, I want to delete left, I want to delete right. And you can give it a modifier, so you could say delete 2 to the right. So I've got D, I'm going to press 2, and now you can see down at the bottom it says D2, and now I'm going to press the L to say delete 2 to, the L is the key to go to the right. So I press L, and then boom, it deletes 2. So if I go up here and I say D2 up, D2U, it's going to delete 2 up. What? It should. Oh, I guess I need to do D2 and then K is up. K and J are the up and downs. So those are the ones you have to use. Use the same letters used to navigate around. So if you delete a line, you can delete a whole line by pressing DD. Press D twice and it deletes a whole line. But not only does it delete it, it actually puts it on your clipboard. So then you can press Shift P to paste, and you can paste it many times. So if you want to duplicate a line, you just press DD and then Shift P to paste it back a bunch of times. Now, you can also do something like delete 5 down and then paste, and you actually get like 5 of them. So I'll do delete 3 down, and then I'm going to paste it a bunch of times. Now you can see I'm pasting 3 lines at a time. So anything you delete essentially goes into your clipboard. And you can delete to anything. So you can check this out. One thing that I found really cool is you can do something like this. So let's say you were in parentheses and there was like a call. You had this log function thing. And you had a bunch of gibberish here. You can, for this one, you could do like delete word. You say DW, and it'll delete a word, which is basically everything up to a space or another symbol. But let's say you had a whole bunch of words in here, and you wanted to delete basically everything inside the quotation marks. Well, what you can do is go right to the first one, and you type DT, which basically stands for delete to, and then you enter the character you want to delete to. So you say DT, and I'm going to type in the quote, because I want to delete everything. I want to delete to the quotation mark. So I press DT, and I'm about to press the quotation mark, and there it goes. Now everything up to there is deleted. Now I could also do the same thing and say, like, I want to delete everything up to the hash sign. I'm going to say delete to #. You say, oops, I didn't mean to do that. You can undo with :u. That'll undo. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't... It worked. I don't know what that little pop-up was. I wonder if I can undo again. No. Yeah, I've never tried to undo more than once, so don't ever make more than one mistake in a row. Let's see, so what else? You got moving around. So in addition to deleting, you can press, like let's say I wanted to delete a few lines the same way, you can highlight them by pressing, you can use V as in very highlighted. So you press V and then it goes into visual mode. So it says down here visual, and you basically can start moving around and highlight what you want. Now V, if you press V by itself, you can do it within the middle of a line. If you press Shift V, then it only works on whole lines. So if I press V, then it puts me in mode, I hit escape to get out of it. If I press Shift V, it's going to highlight the whole line. And you can see down here it says visual line. And so if I start going down, it's going to start highlighting whole lines. And no matter where I am, it doesn't do anything less than a line. So V, little v for doing exact cuts, Shift V for doing lines. So sometimes I'll do Shift V and then like, highlight what I need. Or if I can see exactly how many lines it is, I'll just do like a D4 down and then paste it. So once you actually highlight something, you can either press D to delete it, and then Shift P to put it back. But let's see, let's get some more words and stuff in there. So you can, I forgot what I was going to do now. I was having too much fun there. The delete. Oh yeah, so if you press Shift V and you get a couple lines, or you do the single V, you can do a couple things. You can delete it, so you can press D and delete it, and then you get it in your clipboard again. But if you just want to copy it, you can press Y, and Y stands for yank. So Y, and now at the bottom it says 5 lines yanked, and then you can paste it in too, but it won't delete them. So delete is essentially delete, but it's also cut, and Y is essentially copy. Y for yanked. Okay, so what else? I think that covers a big bulk of my knowledge. So probably one of the newest and most recent things I learned was how you can do the delete to, and I think you can, it's kind of intuitive, you can do delete to, and I think you can like say delete from as well. I can't remember, but let's see here. So let's go through this one real quick and see if there's any command in here that I don't know. So we went through all the text entry ones. You've got insert, after, and open, and the capital ones to go the opposite direction. Check, covered. The following commands are used only in commands mode. Okay. JK, those are the move up, down, left, right. Okay. :N to go to the cursor. Okay, but you can also press N and then type in the number. So I showed you a second ago, you can do : and then just type in the number of the line that you want to go to. But you can also do, I guess it's, you just type in the number where you want to go. So down here, like I'm going to press 3, and you'll see down here at the bottom, there's 3, another 3, so it tells you what's stored up in the key, in your command buffer. So you're like, oh, did I press D3T already, or do I need to press the T again? It's all down here. So I said 33, and then what? Do I want to delete 33? Do I want to? So then I can say G to go there. Oh wait, I think I need, I did it wrong because I think it is a capital G. So you type in the number, I'll say 33 again, now we see it here, I'm going to press capital G. Boom, now it moved me to line 33. So you can just say 44, go. 44, go. Capital G for go to line. Line 1, go. And again, capital G is just go to the end, double G, lowercase, to the beginning. And you can also just type colon in the line you want to go to. So type it in the buffer and go, or colon go. Okay. What else? We did, yeah, control F. Okay, so you got control up and down, U and D, control up and down, and then forward and backward, F and B. And so D and U is half, and F and B is full. And you can get away with just remembering the half one and pressing it twice as many times. So down and up, down and up. Control D, Control U. Yeah, $sign will move you to the end. Oh, 0 will move you to the front. I press the caret, so move to beginning. Oop, delete, delete. Get out of here. Move to beginning of line, and you can press that. Or press that, I guess. I've never used the 0. Okay, if I just press 2, yeah, it doesn't do anything, but if I press 0, it immediately brings me back to the beginning. So 0, I guess, is slightly easier than pressing the caret. $sign brings you to the end, 0, or the caret will bring you back to the front. Okay. I don't really use W and back to move forward one word and back one word. I can see how that could be useful. Okay, so W moves you forward a word, and B moves you back a word. Okay, so I can actually see that being pretty useful. I've never used those before. I usually just navigate around differently, I guess. But that's nice. Okay, W and B words. Word and back. Word and back. Exit commands. Yeah, so right, WQ is write the disk and quit. Q bang is quit and ignore the buffer. Don't save. Q is just quit normally. ZZ is to save workspace and quit the editor. Actually, that's one I never use. I always do WQ. Shift ZZ, I guess, would be a bit quicker, huh? ZZ. Quitting Vim. Okay. So, WQ, like that, or ZZ. But I guess ZZ is the quick route, as it says. ZZ is like a quick save. Because there's no file name, it's going to complain. So same with W, so I guess you'd have to say W and then give it a file name. So we can probably do right quick and save it as junk. Yeah. So WQ and then the name. Oh, one thing that I guess I should mention in case you don't know is that Bash by default has Emacs syntax. So if you're trying to go through the previous commands, you press Control P. Well, you can press up and down the arrow keys, but it's Control P for previous, and it's Control N for next. So that's the equivalent of up and down. But did you know that you can actually set in Bash Vim syntax? And not only will, so like in Bash you've only got one mode, right? You've got edit mode, and like if you want to delete backward a word, you press Control W. Control W deletes backward a word, and if you want to move forward a word, you do Alt B and Alt F. So in Vim you would go into command mode and you'd press W and B to go forward and back, but here you have to do Alt F, Alt B, Control W, Control P. So you're actually using Emacs syntax in Bash, and that's the default. But you can set it into Vim mode, so you actually have the insert mode and the command mode in your shell. I think most people don't know that you can actually do that. I forget how to turn it on. It was in the O'Reilly Bash book that I have. Bash turn on Vim syntax. Not syntax, Vim mode. Is that how it is? I forget It's like bash set dash o vim or something like that. Set editing mode vi. Set dash o vi. Yeah, there you go. So let's try it out. Set dash o vi. And I'm using Z shell right now, so I'm not sure if that's going. Yeah, see, now I'm pressing Control P and Control N, and it's like, yo, what are you doing? What is that? I don't know what that is. I'm Vim. So yeah, I'm in insert mode right now. If I hit Escape and I press I, you don't see an I show up. It just puts me back in insert mode. So if I press Shift A, boom, now I'm at the end of the line. If I press $, or I'm sorry, the caret, now I'm at the beginning. I can say DW, delete a word. I can Shift P to paste it back. I can use V to highlight in the middle and yank, or highlight in the middle and delete. So you actually can use Vim mode in Bash as opposed to Emacs mode. Now, whether you'd want to or not is debatable, but it is very cool that you can do that, because then you've got like all of your features and stuff. So right, so if you want to search, then you press the slash and you get your search. So you say set-o Emacs, and now if I press Control P and Control N, it recognizes those just fine. And in Emacs mode, you can do Control S, or is it Control N, something like that. But if you set it to VI mode, then you do the slash. Oh, I guess you have to go out of edit mode, hit escape, then you press the slash, and then it'll search through your history, basically. So, little tip there. Set-o, that's what it is. I gotta remember that. I forgot it before. It's not set-o vi. So I wonder if we do man bash, if we can just check it out here. Can I find it again? Let's see. Search for Vim mode. No, VI. Search for VI mode. No. How about -o? Oh, here's set-o POSIX. No. Okay, so it's hard to find in the manual. But you can do it. You know, maybe you find some reason to do it, or maybe you find some reason to switch into it temporarily to do some heavy string editing. Okay, so what else? I'm gonna kind of make a list of some of the new things that I learned. And so I learned that you actually have the capital I and the capital O, which go the opposite directions. Let's see. I learned that 0 is equivalent to the caret. ZZ is a shortcut for WQ. You know, I think I learned that a long time ago, but I never used it, so it never stuck. And oh, I didn't know X would delete a character. I would always type D twice. I would always say if I needed to delete a character, I'd press D and then either press right, so it would delete one character to the right, or I would press D. Oh, I guess if you press D twice, it deletes the whole line. So I would do D and then 1 to the right is basically what I would do if I wanted to delete a character. I didn't realize you could just do X. Okay, so that would save me some time. X will delete char. I did know delete word. I didn't know delete backwards. Okay, so the same way you can use W to go forward a word and B to go backward a word, you can say delete word. I knew that one, but you can also say delete backward a word. Oops. Okay. Delete backward. Delete word, delete backward. DD, I knew that one. Delete line, double D, delete line. D $, yeah, we'll delete to the end of the line. D caret will delete to the beginning of the line. So with the deletes, you also have the delete to. So you've got the D to blank. So you could say like delete to the quotation mark, or delete to the hash, or delete to end of line. Well, I guess if you want to delete to the end of the line, it's like that, but delete to, you know, parentheses or whatever. So those are really handy too. They don't mention that one here. Yank. So yank is basically copy. And it's basically just like delete. So you've got YY to yank the current line, yank to the end of the line, yank a word, and then you can prefix pretty much all of these with numbers. So you can say like delete 5 lines to the right, or delete 3 lines down, or you could say well, let's see. So paste. Oh, you know, I've always used only Shift P. I've never used lowercase p. I didn't even realize that was an option. And it makes sense because pretty much all these have a lowercase and an uppercase option. So yeah, I would always do P, because that basically does kind of what you would expect it to do. So like, let's say I delete this line here and I want to insert it here. What I expect is to insert it where my character is, and then to push everything down a line. And that's what Shift P does. It inserts it there and it pushes cut me. So we'll say delete that line, we cut it. We're gonna paste it right back above where we are. But I guess you can do P and it'll actually do it in the opposite direction. So like, we'll delete that one and we'll put it. So hold on a second, let me get some more lines. So we delete that one, we want to set it, well, let's grab a line that's a little more obvious. Okay, we want to press lowercase Shift P, puts it where it is, and pushes the rest back. Oh jeez. Lowercase p puts it underneath where we are on the next line. So if we want to paste it underneath is lowercase p. Capital P is above, lowercase p is below. Okay. P, paste below. Oh, interesting. There's multiple paste buffers. I didn't know that. And U will undo? I thought you had to type :U and press enter. It's saying you can just press U? Oh, you can. Oh, and this one, it goes through the whole thing. So you can just keep pressing U and like undo everything. Now, how do I redo it? No. Okay. J will join the next line down at the current line. So I guess this is cool if you have like you've got a function and then you've got stuff on other lines and you want to bring it all together. So you go, okay, hold on. I want to bring together this line and the line below. Let me press Shift J. And boom, it just joined the last line up to the end of that one. Okay, so Shift J, join line. That's the equivalent in JetBrains to Control Shift J. That's how you join in JetBrains. Control Shift J instead of just Shift J. And that is a capital J there. Okay, right. : W's right. Oh, :E is how you load up a new file. I've never actually had to load up a new file from within it. So I wonder if it's got autocomplete. So if I do :E and I want to edit, can I do home/? Oh, it does! Look at that! Nice. So, :E, like I need to edit a new file. I can do autocomplete and it'll help me finish it out. So that's nice. R to read contents of a file to the workspace. So I wonder if that... If I say R, is it going to put it in? Oh, it does. Interesting. I've never used that one either. So R is how you can basically paste in a whole file. It didn't replace it. R didn't load it in the buffer. It added it to the buffer. Now I wonder also if I put my cursor up at the top and I do it again, is it going to put it up at the top or put it at the bottom? Okay, it put it in right after the line I was on. Okay. Other useful commands. Dot will repeat the last command. Oh, that does sound useful. Okay, so paste, and then I'll just keep pressing dot and repeat. Or let's say I'm going to delete 3 to the right, and I'm just going to keep repeating until I've deleted as many as I want. Okay. Dot, that's a good one. Dot, repeat last command. Dark Coder asks, you've got Android Studio and VS Code in a virtual machine. How many gigs of RAM do you have? Well, I've got 64 gigs of RAM, but only 32 of them are actually in the computer right now because the case is so bulky, I can't fit the other RAM sticks in. So my virtual machine probably has 16 gigs of RAM. Dot, repeat last command. Change current word to a new word. Change word? That's kind of a weird one. So I'm here in the middle of the word and I press CW. Oh, that's interesting. It's basically saying delete word and then press A to go into insert mode. So delete word DW followed by A to insert after. So delete WA is the equivalent of CW, which basically means change word. It's like let's say I'm right here and we got a word and I'm right here and I say I want to change that word. CW, start editing. Okay, CW, maybe I'll use that one. CW, change word. R, replace one character. Capital R, begin overstrike or replace mode. Oh, that's nice. So that's kind of like insert mode except overwrite mode. Got it. It's like a virus. It's like a virus just overriding all your files. Look at that. Look at that hacks. Okay. :/? I've never done :/. I always just type slash. So like if you're in command mode, you just press slash, and then you get the slash at the bottom and you can search for whatever you want. I've never done :/. And if you want to repeat your search, you say, you can do slash and then type in the thing you want to search for. And I've never seen it actually live search like that. That's a new thing that I've seen. I don't remember seeing that. How it like highlights like that. Okay, but then you press the slash like you're going to search again, and you just press slash and hit enter, and it will repeat the same search you did last time. Slash enter, slash enter, slash enter. So like let's search for moving. Okay, slash, now I just press slash enter and it looks around and finds all the copies. Slash enter, repeats the last search. I suppose that the dot if dot does repeat last command, oh no, it doesn't. So search is not, I guess search is not considered a command because I keep searching and I say repeat last command and it repeats something else. It repeats an actual command, not a search. Search forward, okay. And question mark is search backwards. Okay, this is how you replace. So the G means globally on the line, that is, if you're doing sed. Okay, so what else is there? So I was curious how you split. Vim split screen? Alright, everybody in chat, what's your best Vim trick? What's your best Vim command? If you can give me one tip, what is it? Multiple windows, yeah, let's see. Split. Okay, so you just type :split, and then you open the file. Well, what if I want to split the same file I'm working on? If I just do split by itself, will it split it with the current file? It does. Good, and they should have the exact same buffer, so like if I delete this line here, it should delete the one and the other one. Okay, it does. Good. Awesome, so now I'm basically... I'm in the same buffer and they're both completely in sync. And so if I quit one... Okay, if I do :q, it quits one split. So I can say split and then quit. Okay, so if I'm split, how do I go between them? How do I go to the other one? Control W up arrow, move cursor up a window. So let's try Control W. Okay, so now down at the bottom, it's stored up that Control W as a command. It's waiting for the next. Okay, so Control W, move cursor up a window. Control W, move cursor to another window. Cycle. Control W underscore, maximize current window. Control W equal, make all equal. Control W plus. Oh, let me make this smaller. Okay, so split and then Control W. Okay, so Control W, you hold down Control and you tap W twice. Control W, that's how you switch between these splits. And you can kind of tell because it's highlighted a little bit bolder and the cursor's up here. So I'll switch. So it's kind of cool if you want to be down here, like way at the bottom of the file, and then in this one you want to be way up at the top. And you just switch between them. You say, okay, I'm done here, :Q. Now that was a horizontal split. Now what if you wanted H split? No, that's not a command. V split, I guess it's V split. So if I do V split, there we go. Now we've got one on the top and one on the, or they're both side by side, I guess. Control W is still the same. Control W and Control W jumps you back and forth between the windows. Okay, Control W, got it. So if I ever split windows before, I used to use tmux. So that's actually really nice. That's actually really easy. V split or split. Split and V split. Got it. Split and V split. Control WW, change window. So not only that, but you can do a whole new file. So we can say V split and then start a new file. And then we've got our new file over here. And then our new file over here, and over here we can say, okay, go ahead and save that one. Down here you can kind of see new file. And then if we do colon and we press up and down, we can go back and forth between our previous commands. So like, let's say, oh, hold on, I'm in this file, but I quickly need to open up a second file. We'll just call this one Scratch Notes or something. Scratch Notes. Take some notes here. When we're done, go ahead and right quit to close it. And if we need to bring it back, we press colon and kind of go back up and say, oh yeah, let's reopen the V-split on our file. Okay, cool. Control W to go back and forth. Control dub. Oh, hide and only. Okay, yeah, so this minimize or maximize, hide, and only. So Control W underscore. Control W and then underscore. No, it didn't work. Oh, I'm doing Control W minus and it's actually shrinking the windows. Now, come back. Control W plus brings it back. Okay. Okay. I was trying to do this one. Control W underscore. I don't know, that one's kind of weird. So hide and only. Okay, that one might be useful. So if I say hide the one on the right. Okay. Now how do I bring it back? Because, I mean, is it still there? So if I just hit it, how do I bring it back? Oh, I can do ls to list the buffers. Colon ls. Okay, so I can see all the different buffers, and they're numbered 1, 4, and 5. So how do I actually? Oh, here we go. Buffer B2. Okay. So colon ls. Now this is getting into the territory that's kind of new for me. Where, okay, so like right now, I'm actually seeing the list of commands that I pulled up, and I always end up on this screen by accident, and I don't know how to get out of it, so it's like, okay, I'm here, now how did I get there again? I typed colon, and then what was I trying to do? Oh, the buffer, so I did colon ls, and it lists the buffers. Okay, we've got 1, 4, and 5. Press enter, or type a command to continue. Enter, and then I'm back. Okay, so colon ls, that'll list my buffers, or type a command. So colon, let's go to the scratch note file, buffer 5. Boom. Now we are in that buffer, ls. Okay, I gotta write these down, these are good. Colon ls, list buffers, and then colon b1, something like that. Jump to buffer 1. Cool. ls, we got the buffers. Say, okay, colon buffer 1, please. List the buffers, please. Buffer 4, please. Do I have to put the space? Yeah, you do. Wait. Buffer 1. ls. Buffer 4. Oh, interesting. It's it makes me write. It makes me change before I switch back to another buffer. It does. It doesn't like me switching buffers without saving. So if I make a change here and I try to switch to buffer 1, it says no write. Oh, I guess I could do exclamation to get to ignore it. So if I say buffer 1 bang. No, how about buffer bang 1? Okay, so I can make changes and then jump to other buffers. But I have to do, yeah, it's still modified unsaved. So that's kind of a nice one. That's a good reminder. So I say buffer 4, it says, hey, you need to write. I say, oh, no, I know. Go anyway. B bang 4, buffer bang 4. Okay, and then I want to go back to buffer 1. And I want to write it. And then I want to quit. What? I thought I just saved it. Oh, it's trying to quit all of the windows is what it was trying to do. Eduardo's tip is :WQ to quit. that is probably the most useful tip for somebody. Eduardo says, I only use basic Vim commands. Maybe %, to auto indent. Auto indent, you say? Vim %. Now, I don't know exactly what you mean by auto. Oh, so yeah, actually, I will mention something else that I do know. Let me go into... Oh, jeez. I need more screen. How about into the Django one? And I need something with some code in it. I mean, yeah, these are all empty. Come on, let's see. So's that one. So's that one. Okay, bad project example. Let's go to the React one. There we go. So, one thing you can do is you press the brackets, the angle brackets. So I'm going to delete to the beginning of the line and clear that out. You use the angle brackets. Wait, hold on. I messed this up. You highlight things, and then you press the angle brackets. I'm messing this up. Hold on. Oh, let's see. And Pandal says, I use Vim very often, but so long I don't learn new things, just the basics too. But you can't recommend enough learning text objects. Those are useful. Vim text objects. And Eduardo says, do you know how to go for closest parenthesis or bracket? So can you just type it? No, it didn't do it. I think you can say go to, no, to go to the clearest. No, I don't know the way to go to the closest. I know how to delete up to the closest bracket. You press D, T, and then the parenthesis. Like I'm gonna do close parenthesis, it'll delete everything up to the close parenthesis. And so I wanted to show you how to indent and unindent. And yeah, here it is. It's you press the bracket, visual, angle bracket, or less bracket. So let's say like I've got these lines highlighted and I want to unindent or indent the whole one. You press the angle bracket, there we go. So you highlight it with Shift V, and then now I'm going to press the bracket over the period, the greater than one, so that it moves to the right. And then, yeah, so if you want to repeat it, you don't have to highlight them all again. You can press the dot, and it knows, like, okay, indent 4 lines. That's why it's indenting, like, 4 lines at a time here. And if you want to undo it, you press Shift V, and then you press the angle bracket in the other direction. So Shift colon, or I'm sorry, Shift comma, which is the less than. So Shift less than, and then dot to repeat that and then do it again. So that's how you indent and unindent lines, is using the bracket, angle brackets. So here's some settings you can set. If you want to turn syntax highlighting on, you type syntax on and off. syntax on, syntax off. That will turn your syntax highlighting on and off. You can set your tab stop and your shift width, so like how I was just shifting these things over and moving them, you can actually modify that. So let's say you only want it to be 2 spaces instead of 4. You can change those. And all these things that you set, you can colon set them for your current one, or you can put them in your vimrc. So when they say word objects, does this just mean... Well, let's see. So yeah, this is kind of what I was showing earlier. You do number and then the command. So like if you wanted to delete 5 lines, normally I'd say D5 up, but I guess you could also say 5D up and it does the same thing. It repeats whatever you're doing. So yeah, you can say, and you just type it in 2D, like W, delete the word, delete to the right, and then whatever you want there. So plain text objects, AW, a word, IW, inner word, delete a word. I would just say DW. I don't know why you need DAW. What's the difference between DW? Oh, for example, to delete a word using DW, the cursor must be at the start of the word. Oh, that's actually super nice, because that is a problem. Like if I wanted to delete the word that I'm on here, like I wanted to delete constructor. Well, if I do delete word DW, oh, it only cuts off where my cursor is. But if you say delete all word or a word, DAW, it actually deletes the whole thing. So that's nice, because before I'd always press Alt B. I would press Alt B to go to the beginning of the word, and then I would hit DW. And I used to type :U, and now I just press U, because you don't have to. So DAW, delete whole word from the beginning. Alright, hold on, I'm gonna take a drink of water. Okay, so they're saying delete all word includes the surrounding white space, and if you say delete inner word, it only deletes the word without the white space. Got it. Okay, so the same thing for the word. We've got the sentence. I've never operated on a sentence in Vim. What does CIS do? Huh, that just deleted it. CI. So that cut? Is that what does C do? Okay, so what is a sentence? Like AW, AS offers the same cursor position advantage over its motion counterparts, forward and backward a sentence, to operate on the previous sentence. Interesting. So I'd have to play some more with that. Sentences and paragraphs? Huh. It's good to know. I didn't know that you could work on sentences and paragraphs. Delete a paragraph. Okay. Delete a sentence, delete a word, delete a paragraph. Motion commands versus text commands. A command using a motion, like CW, operates from the current cursor position. A command using a text object, e.g. cut inner word or CIW, operates on the whole object regardless of cursor position. Got it. That is an important distinction that I wasn't aware of before. We saw this behavior in each of the various plain text objects. Although this requires one more character, it saves you the time and effort of moving the cursor into the right position. Yeah, good tips, Carbon 5. Thanks. Programming language text objects. Vim provides several text objects based on common programming language constructs. A quote is a double quoted string. The I double quote is an inner double quoted string. Back quoted, single quotes. Okay, so you've got the same A, I. Okay, that's interesting. I didn't really realize. Okay, so I'm in the middle of this. I want to clear out everything between the quotes. I say delete inner. Oops, I need to be in command mode. So I say delete inner, and I'm going to tap the single quote to say delete everything inside the inner quote. Boom, cleared out. U to undo. Now let's say I want to delete the whole thing including the quotation mark. I'll say delete all single quote or delete a single quote. Boom. Delete inside quote. Undo. Delete all DA single quote. Got it. Cool. And that works for double quotes, single quotes, and backticks. So does CI... What does CI do? I still don't understand. Cut and insert? Oh, it's change. That's right. Just like CW. CW is change word, which basically deletes the object and then puts you into insert mode. Got it. Okay, so let's undo this and say, okay, look, I want to change this text that's in there. The most efficient way to do that is to go inside of it and say change inside CI and then the single quotes. CI single quote, and then I'm in insert mode and I'm ready to change it. And then control left bracket or escape. Okay. And it looks like you can do the same thing with parentheses. And so the only way I used to know how to do this was by saying D and then T, which means basically delete to the quotation mark. So I'd say D2, delete to the single quote. But that's just like the delete word where it only deletes half your word. So I learned a couple of good things here. I can say delete inside the quote. So you've got oops. So you've got delete to single quote, you've got delete inside single quote, and you've got delete all of the single quote. Got it. Awesome. Learning some good stuff here. And same thing with the quotations, so like, or the parentheses. So like, let's say we want to replace this whole, whatever's inside the parentheses. We go inside and we say change inside parenthesis. And now we're in insert mode, we're ready to change it. Awesome. I'm learning some good shortcuts here. Same thing with brackets. So you can do it with brackets and parentheses and quotations. I bet you can even do it with the curly braces. I bet the next one's the curly braces. There it is. I bet you can even do it with the angle brackets. There it is. Oh, interesting. So instead of saying, oh yeah, here it is. So you can do it specifically with the angle bracket, but it looks like it specifically recognizes tags. Interesting. change inside tag. So instead of, it'll actually treat like the whole tag as like a quotation mark or whatever. Very cool. Thanks, Vim. Very cool. Camel case motion. Ooh, you can even get more specific. Camel case motion provides a text object to move by words within a camel snake or... Oh. Very interesting. So like this one here is a lower camel cased variable name. It's lower camel case because it starts off with a lower case, but it's camel cased as opposed to hyphenated or underscored. So that's a lower camel case. Upper camel case would be something like a class name here, where it starts in uppercase and does camel case. So I, comma, W, inner camel or snake cased word. Oh, I guess they call snake casing the lower camel case. I always called them lower camel case and upper camel case. Eduardo, that I call that one the brace. So, just this is how I call things. These are braces. They can also be called curly braces. Braces and curly braces are acceptable names for those. Those are brackets, or square brackets, to be more specific. Brackets and square brackets are acceptable names for those. These are angle brackets. Angle brackets, or less than and greater than. Those are acceptable names for those. What else is there? The parentheses, those are called parentheses. And I think that's it. This is called a backtick or a grave. Single quote, double quote. I think that's all the important ones. Yeah. So braces, curly braces, brackets, square brackets, angle brackets, less than greater than, parentheses, backtick. This is a bang. This is a shebang. No, wait. That's a shebang. That's an octothorpe. It's an ampersand. Just okay. That's totally irrelevant for right now, though. Okay, so camel case. How do you move around? I, comma, W. I see. So basically, instead of saying change inside word, you're saying change inside my camel case word. You can kind of remember the comma because it's like, it's a camel case, it's a comma case, it's a camel case. Comma's kind of like a camel, so it's a camel case. Change inside the camel word. That's how I'll remember that one. Okay, so I got a camel case word. So like I'm right in the middle, and I guess I would say, okay, I only want to change the word price. So I'm going to say change inside my camel word. No, that didn't work. That actually didn't work at all. What happened? Change inside comma. No, it doesn't. It breaks. It doesn't break. It goes out of my command, as if it's like, no, that's not a valid command. What's going on? CI, comma W. Oh well. Vim text objects. AA an argument. IA inner argument. Interesting. So it understands arguments inside parentheses too. Indent. AI. The current indentation level. Oh, you can delete whole blocks of indentation. In this case, you're putting your cursor right here and saying delete all the indentation, everything inside the indentation of this level. Okay, so you can do the indentation as like the same way you can say delete inside my quotes, delete inside my parentheses. You can say delete inside this whole indentation block. Wow, that seems pretty powerful. Ruby block? They even understand Ruby blocks with AR. Everything between the do and the end, basically. Interesting. VI command line editing. Oh yeah, so set OVI. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Thanks, Carbon 5. Good tips. So what else do we have? I don't want to overload too much, because if you try and stuff too many shortcuts in at once, you're not going to remember them all. But by using them and playing around with them, you'll actually get better at them. So yeah, let's recap. I learned a few. These are all some of the new things I picked up today. And I'm not even going to remember all of them unless I look at this cheat sheet again. Like this one, I already forgot that one a second ago. X will delete the character. I think probably the most significant ones that I learned is the C, which will change, which will delete and put you in insert mode, and then the way to use the inside quote instead of just deleting to the quote. Change inside the quote, and the splitting. The splitting the screens is actually pretty intuitive and nice. You just do split and boom, and Control W, jump between them. Now, if you want to split, you have a couple options because you've got Tmux as well. Tmux is nice, but sometimes you're probably, only going to need to split inside Vim. The dot was a really nice one too to remember. And this one's all about splitting the screens. So what else? We got some chat messages. Percent should move to the closest and move in between matching pairs. So they're talking about, let's see here. So if we wanted to, let's open some code again. So Pandals is saying if you press the percent sign, it'll jump you to the closest. It'll jump you to the closest bracket or parenthesis. So I'm gonna press percent. Didn't do anything. Let me try it inside of some parentheses. Oh, there it goes. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. No. The percent sign put me at the beginning of the thing. Oh, and it jumps between them. I see. So it puts you at the beginning. If you press it twice, it puts you at the end. Percent to the beginning, percent, jumps to the end. So does that work for, how about braces? If I'm inside these braces? No, it doesn't. So percent is specifically for parentheses. You're saying equal percent is for angle brackets. I'm not even inside any angle brackets. Okay, you're saying equal percent? No, that's not doing anything. Oh, so you're saying no, equal percent is for the braces? Equal percent? No, that's not. Sorry, that's not doing anything for me. Let's see. So yeah, splitting. I'll look at all this good stuff here. There's so many features in Vim, like I'm barely scratching the surface here. That's what I think you guys should realize, is that there's so much more that you can do with it. So how do you open a shell? That's something I'm curious. Vim, how do you run a shell inside? Like if I want to pop into a terminal real quick. colon bang %. Oh. You could use Vim's built-in run a shell command. Colon bang. Oh, okay. So I do colon bang, and I'll say print working directory. Okay, and it actually pops me out into the whole shell. And there's my output. Press enter or type a command to continue. Okay, so if I start typing colon bang print directory again. Okay. Colon bang ls. Okay, so that's a real quick, dirty way to just pop open a shell without having to quit. Colon bang. Colon bang ls. Oh, there's the files I need. Okay. How about colon bang, who am I? Oh, I'm NanoDano. Press enter. Okay. Okay, cool. So that will just pop open a shell and then... so it actually looks like it uses your current shell and keeps going back to it. So it's basically pulling up your buffer of your shell again. So if we quit... Yeah, if we actually quit, we can see all the commands that we just ran actually output right to the same shell that we go back to when we quit Vim. So that's just like a quick way to break back into the shell that you're currently in still. Which is nice, because in that case, you've still got all of your environment variables set for your session. It's not creating a new shell every time. Okay, so colon bang by itself runs the last external command from your shell history. Colon double bang repeats the last command. I'm not sure how that's different. Colon silent bang command eliminates the need to hit enter after the command is done. Oh, I see. So when you normally run a command, it says, okay, when you're done, press enter and we'll close the screen. So if you just want to run it in the background, you don't really care. You just want to do something and you don't need a screen. You just say do silent. And then colon R. Okay, so we saw a second ago we used R to read a file and dump it into there. So that's actually really cool that you can just dump your command right into it. So watch, like, let's say output of ls, and then we've got a spot here. So we just say, okay, bang, read actually. Read ls. And boom, it just puts the output right there. Oh, that's really handy. So like watch, if we want to put the date, like let's say we just say last modified, then you can just be like, oh, what's today's date on the change log? Oh, well, I need to output the change log. You do colon read. We'll read the output of my command. Boom. Colon R date. Awesome. Good tips here too. So what about Vim RC files and Vim script? So I have a Vim RC that I use. No, I don't. The only thing that I have in my Vim RC usually is like set tabs to 4 spaces, syntax on. That's what my Vim RC usually contains. That's it. Let's see. Vim script and Vim RCs. I want a Vim RC, some examples. The ultimate Vim RC. Let's see. Basic Vim RC. Oh, set history. File type plugins on. Set auto read. Command. Oh, you can create your own commands. Oh, that's a pretty slick one too. I can't tell you how many times I've opened a file and forgotten to open it with sudo. And when I go to save it, it says, sorry, you don't have the privileges. but it looks like this guy's got a nice little command that maps to capital W, and it basically says write using sudo. That's really nice. Cool one, I'd have to use that. Set lines, let the language. Anything else interesting? Set ignore case. Ignore case when searching. That's cool. It's a nice default setting, maybe. Highlight search results. So yeah, let's see. I like seeing line numbers, and that's not on by default. And there's a way to turn it on. Set number. Okay, so let me get out of here, and let me quit. Let me out. Let me out. Let me out. Okay, so let me edit my vimrc. There's nothing in it, so I basically want to say set number. Is that all I want to do? Yeah, it is. Okay, so now you can see on the left we've got the line numbers. Awesome. So I'm actually going to nanobin. I'm going to go into my dot files, and I'm going to touch my vimrc. I'm going to actually add a formal vimrc. But I also need to modify my set me up here. And I guess I want to do the same thing, so I'm going to say yank this line. This is going to be symlink zshell and vimconfig. I'm actually going to say copy my vimrc over to vimrc. Okay. And right now, I'm not going to bother symlinking them yet. Well, I guess I should, huh? No, just let me out. Okay. It's dot files. Okay, so I want to ln-s to create a symlink. I want to copy it or symlink it from here to my .vimrc there. Start up vimrc. I didn't do it right. I think you have to use the full paths. It's a problem I've always had when trying to do symlinks. If you try and do something like, a relative name. Unless I just have it backwards. No, that looks good. Okay, so now if I go into Vim, no line numbers, but I can Vim my vimrc, and then I can say set number, set number. Boom, now we've got numbers. Alright. So what else is there? Vim set tabs to 4 spaces. Yeah, how do I set that to? Set tab stop and shift width. And here we go, yeah, all those, perfect. I'm not sure what this file type plugin indent on this needs. I don't think I need that one, but these 3 go together. So yeah, tab stop is going to say how wide you want to show an actual tab, like a real /t tab character. Normally they're 8. They're really wide. So you say set tab stop. So all I want to show real tab is 4. Shift width is how many you want it to move over when you use the indent and unindent. And then expand tab means when you press tab, don't put a tab character, put spaces. So now if we edit a file, we've got this, and if we do the tabs, we can see that these are in fact spaces instead of tabs. And if we were to grab these and say indent, it's going to move them over 4 at a time. And if I want to unindent, it's going to move them back 4 at a time. And let's try out that delete by the indentation. Like, I want to delete this whole indentation block. I'll say delete all of the indentation block? No, that didn't. Hold on. You know what I'm not seeing anymore? Is the command buffer being shown at the bottom. That is gone now. Interesting. Oh, I bet I know why. I bet because before it was using the default vimrc because I didn't have one. And I bet they have a whole bunch of settings in there. Okay, they don't have a ton. Oh, there it is. Oh, perfect. I wanted to do this too. Okay, this is something I actually want to do. Oh, here's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to split. I'm going to do a V-split. I'm going to try this out. Okay. Oh, no. Hold on. Quit that. I want a V-split, but the file I want to V-split is my home directories .vimrc. Awesome. Then I want to Control W to go to the other file. Shift G to jump to the bottom. Shift V to highlight. Y to yank. Control W to jump back. O to open a new line at the end. Escape to go out and press Shift P to paste. And actually what I want to do here... Oh no. U? I did undo too many times. There we go. Okay, I want to say if file readable... home should be a variable that everybody knows, right? Let's do this. Run a command. :bang echo home. Yeah, that's a good variable. So if file readable home slash .vimrc.local source home slash vimrc.local. Okay, now the purpose of this is so that I can have a global, quote-unquote, global vimrc file that I use across all of my machines that I share in that Git repo, but I can also have a local file that is good just for like that machine if I only want some local settings. So I can create a vimrc local if I want, and it'll automatically pull it in. But this is the core example one. So yeah, this must be where. So I'm gonna say :E to edit. I don't know. Hold on. Edit etc vimrc.local. So I was thinking that it's because I didn't have one, it used the default one, and it had some of those extra commands. But now I'm not seeing it because I really liked how it was showing the command buffer at the bottom. Oh, here it is. Here it is. The following commands are commented out as they cause Vim to have a lot of different... Okay. I'm going to copy those. Let me do the same thing then. So I'm going to say vsplit, and I want to edit my home directory .vimrc. And at the bottom I want to add these lines. So I'm going to highlight using Shift V, Y to yank, Control WW to go back, and I'm going to paste it in there. So these are some commented out ones. So show command is one I want. That's the one that's going to show the partial command in the status line. Okay, so now if I do Vim again, now if I do delete for, now perfect. Now you can see them down at the bottom. And I really like that. That is super helpful, so I wanted to set that back up. Awesome. Okay, so ZRC is my Z-shell RC file, and I have a couple aliases, so I'm going to make a couple more here. I'm going to yank these and paste them, and I'm going to make one called VRC and VRCL, which is going to help me quickly edit my vimrc and my vimrc local files. Cool. So now I got VRC to edit and VRCL to edit my local one. Cool. And I actually use those a lot. I use my ZRC to edit that one and ZRCL to edit my local one. I actually use those quite frequently. So maybe now that I'm a little more savvy with Vim, I'll be adding some more customizations. Show match? Sure. That sounds like a helpful one. Set ignore case does case insensitive matching. Yeah, I'll leave that on by default. Incremental search? Yes. Set hidden? Hide buffers when they are abandoned? I'll leave that okay. Set mouse equals A? That's fine. Okay, so now if I edit, and what was the last one I added? Let me do cat vimrc. What was it? Oh, the matches, the so match. So I think now when I do a search, I think it'll start highlighting. Yeah, there we go. That's another thing I noticed that I didn't have before. That must be like a Debian specific setup. So that show match where it actually highlights your search as you're going, that's really helpful, and that's really awesome too. Cool, so I'm much happier with my Vim setup and my Vim skills. So before I do anything else, I actually want to go into my nano bin. Adding vimrc file. Oh. Git remote -v, git remote add origin SSH, git at github.com/nanodano/nanobin.git, git push origin SSH. Uh-oh. Oh, I know what it is. It's actually :. That should work. There we go. Awesome. Now I've got a much better Vim file. It's got some line numbers, some better searching, some commands being shown at the bottom. Eduardo says, there's a code editor called Oni, or Oni, that aims to add modern functionalities to Vim. Interesting. So what about the Vim script? Vim script. So is that just a way to make functions? So it looks like kind of a specific language you can use to write complex commands. Interesting. Let's see. Vim script, is there like an official page? Oh, there's an IBM developer page. I work at IBM. Just FYI. I actually really like working there. It's a great company. A great text editor. So yeah, this is actually a developer.ibm/articles. Vim script 1, published 2009. Damian Conway. I wonder if there's any relationship with John Conway. Daniel Farias just subscribed. Welcome, Daniel. Awesome. By the way, anybody watching right now who hasn't subscribed, highly recommend you subscribe for the daily live streams. And if you're not in the Discord, go to devdungeon.com, and in the right sidebar there is a Join Me on Discord. So click Join Me on Discord and check out my book, Security with Go. And check out all the blog posts and stuff that are on Dev Dungeon while you're at it. So, a great text editor. It starts off with saying, there's an old joke that Emacs would be a great operating system if it only had a decent text editor. Oh, what a burn! Whereas VI would be a great text editor if it only had a decent operating system. This gag reflects the single greatest strategic advantage that Emacs has over VI, an embedded extension programming language. Yeah, so you can actually use Emacs script, or it's called Emacs Lisp. It's actually a Lisp language that you use to write Emacs plugins. But VI programmers no longer need, yeah, so you've got Vim script. Vim 7.2 and higher. I wonder what I've got. Vim Tech version. Ooh. Hideous output. All I wanted was the version, and that was like the least expected answer I was expecting. Here we go. Improved 8.0 from 2016. 8.0, okay. 8.0 is bigger than 7.2, so we should have Vim script. Vim's scripting language, known as Vim script, is a typical dynamic imperative language that offers most of the usual language features. Variables, expressions, control structures, built-in functions, user-defined functions, first-class strings, high-level data structures like lists and dictionaries, terminal and file I/O, regex pattern matching, exceptions, and an integrated debugger. Wow. You can read Vim's own documentation of Vim script via the built-in help system by typing :help Vim script intro :Vim script intro hyphenated together. No match. Help. Oh, it's help :help Vim script intro. Your first experience with Vim scripts is the vimrc file, so we already know it. Vim reads it when you start up, and it executes all of the commands. You can set options to values you prefer, and you can use any command in it, commands that start with a colon. These are sometimes referred to as X commands or command line commands. Syntax files are also Vim scripts, as are files that set options for a specific file type. Yeah, so you can actually have separate Vim setup files for Python files and JavaScript files, which can be useful because in Ruby, I think they tend to use 2 spaces, and in C, they like tabs with 8 spaces, and people are different, so languages are different too. I lost my spot. Come back. Okay, so it's actually interesting. When I quit Vim and I go back, I press colon and press up, it remembers my history between instances. Let's see. A complicated macro can be defined by a separate Vim script file. Let I equals 1 while I is less than 5. Echo count is blank. Let I plus equal 1. Okay, so syntax is okay. It's better than bash syntax. Output of the code, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so this is just talking about the language, so cool. Variables, expressions. I'm not too interested in the actual specifics of the syntax. The language looked pretty straightforward. It looked kind of like some Lua or something. So, okay, basically you can create your own functions. How do you create a function? Let's go to the top, search for function. Here we go. Here's a function. So you say function, you give it a name, you do all your stuff, and then you say end function. So how do you call it? Do you do colon function name? Learn Vim's built-in functions. Colon help functions. Okay, that will help. Hold on. Colon help functions. List all functions and their arguments. Oh, I guess I should have said, okay, so colon function. Awesome, so look at all those functions. Wait. Come back. Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Vim is getting moody with me. Function. Okay, here we go. Oh, wait. That's it? It's not a lot, actually. Function. That's it. There's only like 20. Interesting. I don't really have a need for Vim script, but it's nice to know if I wanted to write a complicated macro that I have the ability to. Okay. Well, let's see. Let's just do... Let's see if anybody out there on the internet's got some Vim tips. Let's just kind of... This is the last thing I'm going to do before I sign off, is just kind of look around and see if there's any kind of last minute cool things. Oh, you can set the wrap. That's interesting. Sometimes you want to turn the wrap on and off. Cursor motion. Oh, you can tell it how much to scroll. Okay, nothing too fancy there. Dalibor Nasovic has 12 Vim tips for us. Repeat the last command. Sort properties. Colon sort. Interesting. Colon sort, is that a built-in thing? Select, yank, and paste. No, these are like... Hold on. Delete in insert mode. Change. Run normal mode commands across a range. Yeah, some of these aren't actually making sense to me. This guy's on a whole nother level from me. Yeah. Too much for me. You're too good. Too good, Dalibor. His tips are too advanced for me. Let's see. You got some 8 tips for us. Changing capitalization. Oh. Tilde. Tilde switches case. Vim search and replace. Yeah, that's a search. And a replace. If you do a G, yeah, it'll replace all the occurrences in the lines. Move things around. Okay. Applying commands on an address range. No. Next. Vim piping commands. No, not interested. Typing less. Getting help. Scripting. Alright, next. Best Vim tips. Here we go. Oh yeah, Vim Tutor. I was looking for this earlier. I thought it was called Vim Tutorial. But it's called Vim Tutor. If you're totally new to Vim... Yeah, there it is. It's called Vim Tutor. Vim Tutor is a built-in tutorial that comes with Vim. That's where you should get started. And see, it starts you with how to move the cursor around, how to exit, how to delete things. Yeah, so honestly, that's probably what I would have gone through that earlier. That would have been how I started off if I would have found it. But I was trying something like this and doing tab, and I was getting nothing. I should have tried like this. Then I would have found it. Anyway, so yeah, do Vim Tutor if you don't know where to start. Okay, I know all these, all of those. That one, those. Oh, I didn't know that one. :X, :X, right and quit. So you can also do capital Z. So Shift ZZ, :WQ, or :X are all equivalent. Copy paste. So yeah, visual mode for highlighting, Y for copying, yanking. Yeah, so move to the beginning of the line, go forward a word, and then the end of word, end of line. C is the change. Change end of line, change end of word. Visual mode mappings. A little too much for me there. Exploring. File Explorer? What? :EX? Oh, wow. Wow. That's like a full-fledged file browser. So I'm actually pressing enter to go into these subdirectories and looking around. Ooh, I didn't know you could do this. So, can I go... Oh, and I think it opened up a new buffer, so if I do :LS... No, it's the same buffer. It reused my buffer. So, okay, let me say :EX. Let me open another one. Now let me do :LS, and sure enough, I got 2 buffers. So, I wonder if I can split with buffer 7? No, it doesn't quite work that way. I wonder if I could do something like that. No. Hold on, let me see. Let me Google this one now. Oops. We're gonna say Vim split buffer. I want to split a specific buffer on the side. SB. The SB command. Oh, SB for split buffer. Got it. LS. Okay, now we got... Hold on, I need to close some of these. Buffer 9. Quit. Oh no, I quit the whole thing. Okay, all my buffers are gone now, so... What was I doing? I was... :EX to get here. Open a file. We'll say :EX Explorer. Open another file. And then we'll say :split. Well, we got an ls. ls the buffers. 2 and 3. Okay, so now we can say :v split buffer SB. Why don't we try vertical split buffer VSB? Gonna try that out. VSB3. No, that didn't work. SB3. That worked. Okay, now how come VSB doesn't work? Oh, :vertical SB blank. Vertical SB2. Awesome. And so depending on which window you're in, that's the window that's going to get split. So let me go down to this bottom one. Now I'm inside this one. And I'll do :vertical split buffer 3. Boom. Now I've got another one split there. Cool. And I can do :EX. Okay, then that opens up the buffer in there. But let's say I want to make this bigger. I'll do Control-W plus. Control-W plus. Or it's Control-W equal, I guess, technically. No, Control-B Shift plus. Control-W Shift plus. Control-W Shift plus. Control-W Shift plus. Control-W Shift plus. Okay, now I've got my buffer, I've got more room here and I can read. Open up that one, let's say. Why don't we open up another file? How about this file? Cool, now we want to shrink it all back and split them all to equal, so we'll say Control-W equal. Control-W equal, and it splits all of the buffers equally. Control-W to switch between them. Control-W plus to make one bigger. Control-W minus to make it smaller. And Control-W equal to make them all equal. Control:/ls to list them. Awesome. I feel like I've totally leveled up. I hope you guys feel the same way. I hope all of you learned at least one new thing. At least one new thing. Well, that's it. I guess the lesson today is really sometimes it's good to sit down for a few hours and take a day to really sharpen your tools. And Vim is one of those things that I think everybody uses, at least a little bit. And it's also something that everybody says, I wish I was better at. And, you know, we use these tools for years. Years go by before we realize, like, I've been using Vim for 5 years and I never learned how to split the screen open and split a buffer into 2 windows. So sometimes it's just good to sit down and do it. I mean, it's good to learn as you need it. Like, whenever you need to split a buffer, take time to do it. But I was in the mood to learn how to do some stuff better tonight because I felt defeated after last night and working on the d3.js, which was, that library was way more complex than I imagined, and it's also kind of a lower level tool than I thought. So I was having trouble with it. I was getting kind of flustered, and I needed like a quick, easy win, and learning how to use Vim better seemed like a good win. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you've got any good Vim tips, shoot them my way, leave them in the comments, and let me know what you thought. So once again, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, subscribe so you can get and watch the daily live streams. Go to github.com/devdungeon for all the great code, and go to devdungeon.com and bookmark that. But also come and join the Discord server. Go to devdungeon.com on the right side. There's a Join Me on Discord button, and right next to the link to buy my book. So come hang out. See you guys tomorrow on tomorrow's live stream. Have a good night, everybody.